When Neela had finally calmed down, she told us that a passing farmer had found Gronje's body in a bog next to her hermitage early that same morning. She appeared to have wounds from 3 crushing blows to the back of her head. The farmer had wrapped her in a blanket and gently loaded her into his cart. Her cow was still in her barn, lowing from a full udder, so the farmer milked it quickly, tied it to his cart, and came straight to the monastery. Sister Anna, or Abbess, ordered the body taken to the infirmary and sent Neela to find Father Alba. We left dinner on the table and rushed as fast as we could back to the monastery. Everyone went, including my grandmother, Karma, and Shanann, none of whom could believe such a thing had happened at Kildare. Death from disease, hunger, and war was common enough in our land, but murder was a rare event. The hurried walk back to the monastery was hard on Father Alba, but he insisted that he could keep up with the rest of us. As we entered the gate, I saw a small crowd of monks and nuns gathered outside the infirmary, some praying, some weeping, but most just looking confused and frightened. Sister Anna met us at the door. "Father Alba, we have placed the body on the table for you to examine. The farmer who brought her is waiting in the church if you wish to speak with him." Sister Anna was the only member of the monastery who appeared unemotional in the face of this shocking event. She was the most stern and unbending person I had ever known, but also one of the most intelligent, and I knew she was deeply devoted to the people under her care. I also realized her self-control was dictated by the need for calm leadership in this moment of crisis. "Let's leave the farmer there for now," said Father Alba. "I want to see the body first. Deirdre, I may need your assistance." "Of course, Abba." "I would like to be present as well," said Sister Anna. "Certainly." "Alba, may I come with you too?" asked my grandmother. I wasn't surprised at this request. Grandmother had been Gronje's friend for many years. She would visit her hermitage whenever she passed that way, and Gronje was a frequent guest at her home as well. "Yes, please join us," he said. The 4 of us stooped to enter the infirmary door. It was a small round hut of woven branches joined tightly with clay and mud, like most of the monastery buildings. And like our other buildings, it had an overhanging thatched roof and a warm central hearth-fire. A colourful curtain separated the examination room on the right of the hut from the beds for the sick and injured on the left, though there were no patients in residence at the moment. Father Alba always kept both rooms cosy and cheerful for the sake of those who came to him. He said a physician's first task was to put a patient at ease. Dried medicinal herbs were hanging from the wooden rafters, while the shelves on the walls were lined with jars of powders and potions. I knew that in chests out of sight were the less agreeable tools of medicine, like a jagged tooth-bone saw for amputations and a set of finely sharpened steel knives for surgery. In the middle of the room was a large, sturdy wooden table. On top of this table, surrounded by candles, lay the body of Sister Gronje. She was curled up in a fetal position, as she had been found, with a wool blanket draped over her body, except for her head. Aside from the pallor of death, she looked as if she was sleeping, with a face as calm as I had ever seen. My grandmother softly placed her hand on Gronje's shoulder and whispered a prayer to the gods. There were tears in her eyes as she gazed at her friend. I placed my own hand on my grandmother's arm to steady her. "Grandmother, can you see anything? Any image of who might have done this?" My grandmother, as a druid seer, could often sense images from touching an object or a person. "No. Murder is too evil an act to leave a clear impression. It clouds everything with darkness." "Either. You don't need to stay if you don't want to," Father Alba said. "This may not be easy to watch." My grandmother shook her head. "No, I'll be all right. I don't want to leave her." Father Alba asked me to light several more candles and place them along the sides of the table. Then he carefully pulled back the blanket to expose the body. Gronje was wearing a homespun tunic of coarse wool.